Alright, this video is going to be kind of a companion video to my video I did about finding budget gear and things you can find if you really get out and look for it. Something else I think is important is to have some resources as far as reference material on, different things. I mean, depending on where you're going with your level of preparedness or survivalist, homesteading, whatever it might be, I think it's a good idea to, to at least have some reference stuff. You never know if there's a power outage. I know a lot of people are preparing for that with their what their level of preparedness is based on that. But I think it's also good to have it around. Sometimes I just like quick reference. I'd rather have something in a book than have to search online. I'm not a big digital person. I do still like the old school books, and flipping the pages and whatnot. But there's a lot of things you can find out there if you really look. And these are just a few things that I found recently that I thought would be a good thing to have in your, just to have as a reference in your library. And every one of these books was found. I think I found every one of these at the Goodwill, which is a great place to look for books. I mean, you got to really search, but I've actually found some really good books there. And it's pretty much the only reason I go there. There's just too much stuff to go through at most of them places, but I do like to see what kind of books I can find. These two here I thought were really good. As far as medical goes, I know a lot of people concentrate pretty heavy on medical as far as, with preparedness, things like that. But both of these books are really in depth. And these I found these, I think they were $1.50 a piece maybe. And I haven't read all these books yet. Some of these I just got. So, but just leafing through all these books, they're really good. Some really good information in them. And like I said, every one of these books, I believe I paid less than $2 a piece for. Some of them maybe $1 even. But this is a really good one here, this medical advisor. There's a lot of good information in here about, disease prevention, illness, treatments, symptoms, things like that. The natural healing book, I'm not real big on natural healing as far as just because I'm not knowledgeable. It's not that I don't believe in it. I'm just not a really good student of it. So, but I do want to go through this thing and see what's in there. I think it's really good. Now, this next one was a real find. If you're into homesteading, I'm sure everybody knows Joel Salatin. I would hope you do. He's probably the most famous farmer in the world. But this was a book I just found recently, which I was really surprised to find. The Pasture Poultry Profits, which is just one of his books. I think he's got about 15 different books out. So if you're into homesteading, self-reliance, things like that, definitely look into his books. This one was a real find. It's a little bit of an older book, but all the ideas in it are, still all relevant today. I'm sure everything can be, updated to to the current times, but some really good information. I've only been able to leaf through this one too. Like I said, none of these, I have not read any of these books yet, other than just looking through them. And some of this, as far as preparedness goes, one of my things is being a little bit more self-reliant and resourceful, kind of doing things yourself. And that's what I like a lot, that I think is missing sometimes. A lot of people just think it's, with preparedness, it's about, a basement full of canned goods and guns and things like that. And I disagree. I think, just becoming more self-reliant, doing things on your own, being resourceful is, I think, a good thing. And that's where a lot of this stuff comes in. Like this book here, there's some really good tips in there. I have looked through for repairing things around your house. Maybe even there's some cooking tips in there. There's a bunch of different things. The jerky book is another one that I just found. I do make jerky. I'm going to do a video on that at some point with a dehydrator. This one has different ideas. You can do it with a smoker, I believe, in the oven. And I believe they do have a dehydrator section in this. So, just being like, doing things like that. I mean, yeah, some of the stuff is maybe just for your own benefit, but I think it's good to know how to do some of this stuff. It's like making jerky, drying vegetables, fruit, things like that. And I am going to do a video on the dehydrator here soon. Just some basic stuff that I do, because I don't even always use it just for like preservation of food either. I like to do it and make healthy, healthy snacks, things like that. This is another one, Monongahela National Forest Hiking Guide, which is down in West Virginia. A lot of good information. There's some like topographical maps in there. And I picked it up because I have been down there, and it's an area that I do like to go to. So haven't done much hiking there, but this book is a really good resource guide. And the last one I found was these three. And I know this is a series from the North American Fishing Club, which I am sort of familiar with. I don't know if it's still in existence or not, but they used to put out a series of these different books of, for different kinds of fishing. Now, the ones that I found were just these three, but they're in really good condition. I think I paid $1 a piece for these. They're hardback books. A lot of good tips in there if you are a fisherman. And once again, fishing can be a good part of your, self-reliance journey, if you will, if you're not into that. But there's a lot of good tips in these books that I have found. So this is just kind of an overview of some things. Like I said, once again, trying to show you some ideas where you can save some money. And if you are into reading, there's a lot of good resources out there. I know, like I said, flea markets, yard sales. I happen to stop at the Goodwills and look for this kind of stuff when I'm on the road and things like that. So, like I said, hopefully this helps, gives you some ideas of where to build your library up. I think it's good to have like some things on hand. Some even if you just have some basic things for around your house, you don't need a 10,000 book library on how to make beef jerky or fishing books. But having some basic knowledge, if you're just new to it, I think would be could be beneficial for you. So hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, and definitely like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll put some stuff down as I find some different things. I'll definitely be sure to share it with you guys and give you some ideas for your own. Thanks a lot.